Hey, and welcome to the Inner Conductor Leading from Within channel. Today's question for me was, how do I want to think, how do I want to act, and how do I want to feel? It's a really good question from Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's why I also have a book here. It's translated to Slovenian, but it's called The Breaking of Habit of Being Yourself. Because what can I do when I see that, my mind is a little bit stuck? That, I start to observe things from a perspective that is a bit complaining, a little bit of judging, a little bit of, not feeling that good. And, it's not really working out for me. And, all this, old victimized, thoughts or, So I was working on that these past few days because I started to see that there is something in me that was not completely, on the spot. And, in leadership, it's many times, you still, no matter what happens, and in all other areas too, you just come in front of people. And sometimes, you have this chaos inside of you and you're not completely certain, or I notice sometimes that I'm suddenly stuck in my past, or I'm overthinking about my future, but from a perspective of lack and the energy of lack. And since I really worked so many years now on myself, and especially meditations of Dr. Joe Dispenza really tremendously are helping me, to really make a change. And there is one big paper on my refrigerator is change, change, change. Because now I'm really aware that I can't create anything new if I am repeating the same thoughts. And it's like here, it's thinking, acting, and behaving, or feeling, So I had few days where I was not completely in alignment with myself. And, I could see these old patterns coming out. But I was sitting down, and today also, I asked myself again, who do I want to be? Is that really a version of me that I want to, bring out to the world today? And sometimes it's not easy, because the old self, as I call it, it's very convincing, it's just so completely, you ask yourself, oh, I don't feel good, or this didn't happen, that's why I can't be happy today, And it's these typical things that Dr. Joe mentions also, it's really the environment, it's the time, and then it's the body, how you can be greater than that. How can I be greater than this current emotion that, for example, I felt in the morning? So the greatest tool for me is absolutely his meditations, where I sit and I'm really just in this breaking the habit of being yourself. It's really, the first is that I just check, who am I in this moment, and what are my thoughts? How do I feel? How I am behaving when I feel like that, or when I'm thinking these thoughts. So it's really very analytical for me, but it really helps me, because in the second part of this meditation, there is this other part where, who do I want to be now? And that's the thing, it's this sometimes this giant, big unknown that's actually quite scary, and it's quite frightening, and it's very unfamiliar. And at the same time, still it's more familiar than this, not feeling good and so on. So, as a leader, of course, sometimes I'm going in front of the ensembles and there is this chaos in me, or I'm not completely sure how to work, and there's this maybe old self that wants to just come on. But then it's also, how can I really tune into this new version of myself, that it's powerful, that it's self-confident, that that I know what I'm doing, and so on. So the thing is that I think is the most normal thing in all this growth. If you're doing any of this spiritual work, as you already know, it's very normal that these things happen. Sometimes, some people called it, I was even going back to this, expression, dark night of the soul, when literally the feeling of separation was so strong and so real. But at the same time now, with so much of my experience, that I manage to be an observer, that I am not this emotion, that I am not this thought, and this, the most important thing is that I can change that. And how that's again the thing of meditation for me, that I'm really embodying the new emotions, or empowered emotions, or elevated emotions that were very unfamiliar to my body before. It was completely unfamiliar. As Dr. Joe says also, this survival is there. And how to really come into this, energy of thriving, of feeling good, of feeling abundant, So what I wanted to say, that's the thing. So these moments where I feel that, everything is collapsing, and it's just an illusion, of course, but sometimes it feels real. And if you're a leader by yourself, or if whatever you're doing, it's sometimes difficult to go with all this stuff in front of people. And when you sometimes even can't convince yourself that that it's okay, that it's so for me, I have different tools now how I'm overcoming these days, and one of them is absolutely meditation, and the second one is journaling, where I literally really write how my old self, this familiar self sometimes to my body, is doing, and then who do I want to really become, and how this new version of me wants to feel, how I want to feel after the rehearsal, or at the rehearsal, how I want to feel after the concert, or in the moment of the concert. It's really, and then I'm putting this new picture in my meditation, and it really transformed my life completely, because I am no longer a victim of my emotions or thoughts or whatever is happening on the outside, even though it still impacts me sometimes. But it's much faster. I become aware of it, and I know that I can change it. So if this message anyhow resonated with you, please give some comments if that's something that you want to share, maybe how you're going through this chaotic or misaligned moments. And of course, like and subscribe if that's something that you want to do. But most of all, please do enjoy your week, and until the next week, bye.